Good day, my friends, and hello from beautiful Eagle River, Alaska, where I rode up a few days ago on my motorcycle on my epic journey, and made it here. Few issues with the motorcycle, few issues with my gear, but I'm here. I'm healthy. I'm happy. I've got everything I could ever need. Well, I got beer and I have my family here, and my lovely wife is upstairs. And my buddy Robert Roy is watching. Hello, everyone. Just going to give a little update from the garage here. Of course, enjoying the hospitality of my daughter and my son-in-law, staying at their place. They cleared out the garage, let me put my motorcycle in here, and so I can pick away at it. We're going to be here for a while. So I'm not in a huge rush, but I want to make sure I solve all the problems that I have going on with the bike. This is a long ways home, and I don't know the exact journey that I'm going to take to get there. So who knows how long it might take me. I'd like to make it out of Alaska and across Canada and back into the main 48, lower 48, safely, soundly, and efficiently on this motorcycle. I think the issues that I've had, minor and solvable. So let's take a peek at what I got going on today. Robert Roy asked where my friend is. He's staying with his sister on J-Bear, Joint Base Elmendorf, Richardson, just outside of Anchorage. So it's between Eagle River and Anchorage. So one of the items that I worked on today is my boots. My boots were really leaky. Let me see where the heck I even put them. I really should replace them, but I do like to mess around with things. Tinkering is part of my channel here, so I did a little bit of research on different things I could do. And of course you can buy products and this and that, but I'm a do-it-yourself guy. So I found a guy who said that if you melt some Vaseline, or petroleum jelly, bought the local cheap brand, along with a candle. So we had some beans the other night, so I kept the bean can. Mixed those two together, melted them up. Let me see here, grab an old toothbrush, rub that all into the boots. And at the very least, they look very nice and shiny. But you can see it got into these seams here, and I don't know how well that's gonna work. It was only a couple dollars invested, so maybe later today, I'm gonna have my lovely assistant wife, my trophy wife, I'm gonna have her go ahead and spray some water on my feet so we can laugh at how wet my feet get. And then we're gonna go to the store and probably buy new boots. But it was worth a shot to try it out. I'm really more curious to see how it works, because these boots leak really bad. They're pretty wore out. But I think if you have some riding boots or everyday hiking boots that leak just a little bit, I think that'd be a pretty easy solution. It was cheap. Of course, I had to buy a brand new toothbrush, which I'm gonna throw away. Yeah, and I'll save it for Robert Roy. It's got some dog hair hanging on it. So you can use it later. Keep your yuck mouth clean. I know the VA is probably taking care of you on your dental, but I'm watching out for you too, buddy. And we'll see how it works. I think it'll be an improvement. I don't think it's gonna solve the boot problem. We're gonna run into Anchorage. There's a cool store there that I've wanted to check out anyway called Alaska Leather. It makes some really nice seat covers I'm gonna probably pick up. My sister asked if I clean the toilet with that brush. Not yet. I'll save it for in case my brother comes along. We have an affectionate title for him, and I'm not gonna say it on air, but we'll cover that later. And then I also had issues with my, where is it at? There you go, my riding suit. I purchased this riding suit specifically for a few reasons. I wanted to have a one-piece suit so that I was sure to be covered head to toe at all times, because I tend to get lazy sometimes when I'm riding and I just wear a jacket, and I know I shouldn't. I should wear as much protective gear as I possibly can. So that solved that problem. And I also bought it because it's supposed to be a really awesome waterproof suit, and it turned out to be an epic failure. So I looked up a lot of different solutions for that as well. There was a product called Nick Wax you can buy, and you wash your garment in it, cleaning solution first, and then when it's damp, then you wash it again by adding this Nick Wax treatment, and it gets into all the fibers. And it's supposed to be really good. And it's about 30 bucks, I think, for both, for the cleaner and for the Nick Wax waterproofing stuff. So I was thinking I was going to do that because I like the idea of just having the jacket and I don't have to stop. But honestly, it only rained on us 1.5 days out of 10 days on the way up here. So having to stop and put rain gear on, all right, sounds like a pain in the ass, but I've had a set of rain gear that I've worn like that for over 20 years, and it just finally started breaking down like the last year or so. The jacket was still good, the pants started leaking, and that's what I've always used. I decided to go this route, and it didn't work out well for me. So when we were picking up all these other goodies, I just went and did what I maybe should have done from the start, and I got the frog togs here. I know a lot of my friends have told me about these. Yes, I know about frog togs. I have some at home. Now I have another set, XXL, to fit over my rain gear. So if it starts raining, I'll just stop and I'll grab these. They're light, they pack down pretty small. I have plenty of extra room on the bike. So I just decided to go this route. I think they were $20. So for the price of the Nick Wax, which I don't know for sure if that will work, I decided to just go this route. So that's where we're at on that. Let's see. And also working on the bike, I showed the other day. Oh, my buddy asked if it's the best time to shower when you're on the road. Well, if you tend to not stop and shower, then by all means enjoy the gift provided from above and hit up some soap and clean up on the road. I was more concerned about my safety and continuing forward when I was riding, so I decided to just keep moving rather than take a shower on the road, but that could work. My sister was telling me about some spray stuff. I don't know which one you're talking about. I looked up some different ones, Never Wet. There's a few different ones. Everything I read about them said that they work well for a few days, but they're not effective after that. So I decided to just go with the frog togs and call it good. All right, so on to the bike here. I've removed the air box. Here's the throttle bodies. Here's the air box, all full of water. It's kind of funny, I went online onto an online forum specifically for these bikes, and people are just calling me out on this, saying I'm full of crap that this happened to my bike and that it's impossible. And it's like, well, it's right here. One guy claimed that I didn't service my bike, and I showed him pictures of this thing all tore apart right before I left on my trip. But I guess people just don't want to believe what the truth is. They said, oh, that never happened to me, and this and that. It's like, well, if you haven't ridden 700 miles in the rain, probably, geez, 12 hours or more we were riding in the rain. So if you haven't ridden that far, well then, yeah, maybe it won't happen to you. This never happened to me either when I was riding in the rain for 10 miles. But you can, here, let me flip this again here. You can see right down there, you can see through the top of the frame. And I showed that view the other day from behind the wheel. And you can see how dirty everything is up in here. And on this air box sits in there just like that. That's kind of hard to tell. So it sits in there just like that, and right in there is where the air goes into it. So the water's all flipping up into there. I'm getting dirty water everywhere in this garage. But anyway, that's where the air gets up into there. So riding through the rain, 70 miles an hour, which is pretty frightening actually. Pouring rain. Yeah, it's gonna fill with water. I don't know why the people are doubting me, and then they're downplaying the effectiveness of that extender the extender that goes down in the bottom of this fender, which will go down to about right here, which should keep all that water out of there. But there's a gentleman on that forum who has over 300,000 miles logged on these motorcycles. He's had two of them, one of them with 250,000 and another one with 100,000. And he said he's had that problem several times, put the extender on it, the problem was solved. So the next issue is going to be in here. This is the spark plug coils. They sit right on top of the spark plugs. I'm gonna pull one out here. We'll see if we can do this live on TV with one hand. Live on YouTube, I mean. So from what I hear, the water flips up into here, and these spark plug wells, the holes where the spark plugs go into and these coils sit, they fill up with water and cause these to short out a little bit. Let's pull this one out and take a look. Well, you can see how wet and dirty and gross that is. There you go, look at that. And they claim that it causes them to short out. So, yeah, I have this problem as well. So I'm gonna have to find a solution for that. Supposedly there's an O-ring you can get. Maybe it goes into that little section or all the way at the top. I don't know. I'll have to do a little bit more research. I bought some of this stuff here, some electronics cleaner. I'm gonna spray that on there. I need to find some dielectric grease. I also bought some clear RTV silicone, so maybe I'll put that around there. I also bought that for my boots. Another experiment on the boots. But, let's see, can you see in there? Yeah, way down in there. Oh, that's actually a better view than I can get. I'll have to look at the video myself later and see if there's any water in there. I might have to pull the spark plugs out. I don't have an air compressor here to blow that out with, but we do have some compressed air for like the computer. So we'll try that out. So I hope to get this wrapped up today, pull all the coils out, clean them up, see if I can get those spark plugs out. I don't know if I have a right spark plug wrench. I'll have to look. I don't know if the one on my toolkit works. But we'll get that sorted out. And if I need anything, I need to run into the Yamaha shop, get it on order, because we're going to be here about 2.5 weeks. And, oh, my sister says I can fix anything. Thank you, sis. Yeah, we actually do have a pretty handy family. So for the most part, we find a solution, we get it home, and we make it work. And the worst case scenario is, hey, I got the bank card. I'm sure there's a Yamaha dealer. I like this bike, but it's just a piece of machinery. It's just a piece of machinery. I'm not in love with it. We could always go buy a new one. I got an excuse right now. It's not running right. And my lovely wife, for the most part, supports me. She's always telling me to get new stuff, and I like to mess around with old stuff, kind of like these boots. I messed around with them. I spent $3 or $4 trying out this hack with the Vaseline and the candle. I was supposed to get an unscented candle, but they smell like coconut now. So we'll see how they work. I'll have her spray my feet down with water. We should record that live. Maybe we will. Maybe we will. We'll go live for that maybe this afternoon if we get some time. Her spraying my feet down with water, and we'll see if the boot fix works. So that's all I got from the garage, the Alaska update, the bike update, and my garage hack update. I'll try to get a couple more of those in. I kind of like those. It's always good when I learn something. And if I can pass something along that is helpful to y'all out there, then that's good too. Other than that, thanks for tuning in. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit me some comments. I'd love to hear from you all. And get out there and find your own adventure. Adios.